From the Standing Stone Farm Studio right outside downtown Nashville, it's time for the most ridiculous sports podcast in the world. So sit back, relax, and listen as Bobby Butler and Brandon Bond crack open a cold one and talk all things hockey, pop culture, and complain about everyday situations. It's the Pucks Out Podcast on the Penalty Box Radio Network.
Welcome, everyone, into the most ridiculous podcast in sports and pop culture. I'm Bobby. He's Brandon.
Hey-o.
You can find us on the three majors of social media at Pucks Out Pod. Now let's crack open this cold beer and let's get after it.
Let's get after it, bro.
We started recording a little bit late today. We started doing some video content for the show, so we're our day has gotten a little bit longer now.
Yeah,
but,
back to the basics of just talking smack. You know, now you're making me like do things and like, you know, like, oh, we need to do this. We got to go take a video. It's like, bro, like I just like talking. No, I'm not. I'm excited. You know, I need to pump up I'm just terrible on social media, dude. Like I don't care, you know? So I think that's a part of the problem is like, you know, I just don't care, but
you can now find us on TikTok at Pucks Out. TikTok's a wild place, man. It is like the Wild West of social media. It's like a mix of ridiculousness and just Pornhub. If those two things came together,
we're definitely, it's not safe for work TikTok for sure. Like we are definitely, I'm naked in it.
Well,
so, I mean, well,
that's
look,
against terms of services. But we're we made it close.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's against terms of services. What are they going to do? Kick us off?
That's on your OnlyFans.
I'll just create a new TikTok. We do have an OnlyFans too, though, right?
But all right, today we've got plenty of news from around the league. We got a new segment about a bionic farmer. We've got the European Super League. By the time I wrote this and by the time I got here, it already has started to fall apart. The future of the Ducks, Avs, Devils, and Blue Jackets, some perverted smartphone cameras, and the Trevor Lawrence quote-unquote outrage. So check us out on What a Maneuver on Patreon and download and comment on the show. And on June 26th, come see us live at Tailgate Brewery HQ, where we will be joined by Zach McCann and Paul McCann. We're going to be talking beer, life, and hockey. It should be a good time.
Yeah, and that's for those of you that don't know, the HQ is the one on Charlotte in Bellevue. So, you know, there's like now 70 tailgates. Like I was there when they opened that thing. You know, like I used to drive past that place and it was a Moose Lodge for the longest time. So to be able to go to the opening day and get a tour from the owner is awesome, man. I'm really excited about our time there, but obviously mostly with, you know, I'm going to be thanking Paul for literally anything, literally anything. He's going, oh, that's a good point. I'm going to say, thanks, Paul.
That won't get annoying at all.
It will not. I am thinking I'm gonna do it naked and then put it on our OnlyFans.
Yeah. But how you been this week, bud?
Not too bad. Had a pretty good sesh this past weekend for our D&D. You know, I've been watching the Orville. I know we're not doing a What Are You Binging, and
it's a great show.
I am really enjoying that show. You know, you got Tyra Collette, you got Brian Griffin. You know, you got lots of folks that are. It's just a really good show. I really enjoy. I don't know how like accurate the science is, but it seems like they're pretty much trying to stay within the realm of like
space. I mean, it's space travel, so it's like
accurate. You know, physics type of stuff. What is it? Quantum physics. You know. So, but I'm really liking that. Had a really good weekend in the books.
How do you know they're staying within the realm of science, though?
Because
did you do your research on this show?
It seems plausible. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just said it seems like, Bobby. Come on, dude. Don't throw me under the bus like that. What, I look like a scientist? Like, bro, we just funneled a beer outside. You know, like what, dude? I'm not like the forefront, you know, scientist. I'm not working for the CDC or anything. So. But I did have a good weekend on the old sports books, bro.
Yeah, I didn't bet this weekend.
Hey, sometimes you need that, bro.
I haven't bet in about a week. You know, just baseball's been rough. I mean, I needed to take some time and reset.
Yeah. Well, just, you know, the problem is like we've never really paid attention to sports in that way. You know, in terms of like what you need to do to bet them. You know, so Baseball has been rough on me.
Yeah.
I kind of just steered clear of it. But for the
Sticking
most
with that
part,
Chinese and German basketball.
Chinese unders have really been bad to me lately. I kind of just did, I just backed off. When I start losing in something, it's exactly like you did. I just kind of chill, but I had a pretty good weekend overall. I've actually had a pretty good week. So knock on wood, we'll see where that takes us. So
yeah, but all right, yeah. So,
but you're not going to tell me how you were doing?
Pretty good, man. We
I didn't ask. So
I've just been working on the house. I did find out something crazy this yesterday, actually, and this is quite embarrassing, especially since we live in Nashville. We have our co-host on the fantasy show works at a country music.
That's his fault.
Yeah. Well, I found out that Randy Travis is a real person. I didn't know he was a real person.
Okay.
I thought Randy
you tried to hit me with the fact that, I wasn't sure that the Orville was actually scientifically literate. And then you didn't know Randy Travis was a real guy?
I'm going to be honest with you.
Do you think people are just using this name as like
I thought Randy Travis was like a cartoonish stereotype of country music that people like made fun of. Because I've seen pictures of him and he doesn't look like how normal humans look. So I thought it was
he looks like a country music star?
No, he looks like one of those cartoonish things that people draw at Six Flags and stuff. That's
where those cartoons come from. Randy Travis.
So I'm on TikTok and Randy Travis is on TikTok, which is a weird sentence.
This is already weird for me.
Yeah.
I can see why you think, wow, this can't be real. Randy Travis is a parody of something or another. Speaking of country music, I think you've been talking to our boy Manny Blue.
Yeah, Manny Blue. He's got a new music video coming out soon for the song "Train," but I think he'll be on the show in a couple of weeks or so. I think we might do a brewery place.
He asked me to do the like a Tony Katane-esque showing in his video, and I just had to turn him down. I was just like, bro, I'm so busy. Bobby's got me doing like a video and a half a week, and they're like 60 seconds long. It's like I just don't have the time right now. So.
But you're like, hey, hit me up when you want me to show dong for the OnlyFans.
Hanging dong, I'm in. I can always make time to hang dong.
But yeah, so it was a real come to life moment when I found out that Randy Travis was in fact a real person.
It's almost like when everybody had that dog that went to the farm that has millions of dogs. And it's not until you're like older, you always think your dog actually did go to a farm. And then you find out like, oh, he went to a farm.
Yeah.
I actually had a dog that, I was an adult and I was like, I can't believe you killed that dog because, the farm thing, they're like, no, we actually did send him to a farm. And I was like, I don't know if you're just trying to trick me because I'm 30 and you don't want to, you don't want to take you don't want to hurt my feelings, or he really went to a farm. So now I'm like torn on that. Like, is my dog at a farm? So, I mean, he's probably not anymore. This is a long time ago. It's like 20 years ago. If he's still on that farm, I probably would have heard about it because he's like 40-year-old dog now.
But all right, let's jump into the news.
Everything you need to know about what's happening on the ice. It's time for news from inside the boards.
It's a pretty decent beer.
Yeah, I'm definitely enjoying it.
It's the Gumball Head American Wheat Pale Ale by Three Floyds.
I mean, let's be honest. I was about to say the can is putting it over the top right here. So,
but all right, Patrick Marleau passes Gordie Howe for games played. He's currently at 1,768 as of recording. Yeah, that's big, man.
It's super big. Isn't it like super unfair though? Because Gordie Howe played like 932 seasons. Like,
well, also he had much less games per season as well.
Fair, yeah. Fair.
But he was in a league with like 5 other teams.
Yeah, but like also like this was like when their off-season workouts was like, okay, we're gonna race to who can smoke a pack of cigarettes the quickest, and then like that was their conditioning.
If you got hurt, an 8-ball of coke,
you got right. Like you're just like on the bench, like smoking. Like no, obviously Gordie Howe is great, but that's amazing, dude. And there's always those guys that break records that you're just like, ugh, I hate that guy. Patrick Marleau has never been one of those guys, even as a guy that grew some hatred for the Sharks because of some losses in the playoffs against the Preds. But I mean, Patrick Marleau is such a good guy. Like, you're happy for him, for sure.
The Maple Leafs, another embarrassing loss again for the 3rd straight year. They had the CPA goalie David Ayers. They had the play-in round loss to the Blue Jackets, and now they've got the COVID loss to the Canucks.
Yeah, wow. That's I mean, which one? Okay, so which one is the most embarrassing? It's got to be the CPA goalie.
Yeah.
I mean, this dude dude was doing taxes well, but I mean, at least the COVID Canucks are like actually playing like real professional hockey, you know, like, I mean, you're going to lose some games to guys that play hockey, but a dude that legit, you know, is just like waiting for April 15th and you get beat by that cat. Like that was rough. So yeah, I would have to say the CPA goalie. The play-in round loss is, you know, embarrassing, but again, you lost to an NHL hockey team. That's not as embarrassing to me. I would say it has to be the goalie.
I think it's less embarrassing to us, but to Leafs fans, to them, it's like everything's the end of the world for them. And that's why it's so amazing just seeing the meltdown from Leafs fan from the outside.
Oh, well, I mean, Leafs meltdown anytime, you know, they don't score 7 goals in the game type of deal. So like, that's not like crazy. Everything is the worst thing. Everything's the devil to you, mama. That's what I think about when I think about Leafs fans.
All right, let's hop over to outside the NHL.
Now that you know what's happening inside the boards, time for the rest of the headlines with news from outside the boards.
All right, number 1 draft pick Alex Smith has announced his retirement.
And he just means Alex Smith, guys. This isn't like some random number 1 draft pick. Like, it's just Alex Smith.
But what I said was factual, though.
I didn't say you were lying. I'm just saying nobody classifies him like that. So it was very confusing. I was like, Alex Smith, dude, Alex Smith, which one? Like, you know, like, we're just lucky that guy didn't, you know, die of an infection in the DC hospital, bro. Like, you know, he had a pretty good career. You know,
I think he did 8 years in San Francisco. Is that it?
Something like that. And then had a few good seasons at Kansas City, and then he went to Washington, right? It wasn't like he was a big team hopper or anything. I mean, he's about as game manager as you can be as a quarterback. It's rough for him to have had to start there in San Francisco with not great teams. That made it tougher to, I just don't think he ever got like the real shot to show us that he was a number 1.
Yeah, I mean, he was a very talented quarterback. Yeah. We saw it. And
he's smart too.
Yeah, it was sad that his career went out. I mean, honestly, not went out the way, but kind of did what it did, because I mean, he ended on a great note there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, you know, there in Washington, he provided some great wins and assisted in some great wins on a really good season for the football team there. Sad to see him go, but congratulations to him. I mean, he's able to, that dude being able to walk is amazing. So I think you have a little quote for him over there, right?
So this is from Alex Smith. Even though I've got plenty of snaps left in me after 16 years of giving this game everything I've got, I can't wait to see what else is possible. But first, I'll take a little time to enjoy a few of those walks with my wife and my kids, and I have no idea what's coming for them in the backyard. So it'll be nice for him to, you know,
did he just call his kids out? He's like, backyard football time, son. He's like, I'll see you on Thanksgiving.
He's going to be pulling the Peyton Manning dodgeball.
It's like, get open. God, that's such a good Saturday Night Live, bro. Like, it's like when that kid's getting the tattoo and he's like, it's going to be forever.
All right. Have you heard much about the European Super League?
I did a little bit of
when I read it, I was like, that seems cool. Apparently, people in England are pissed. Like burning stuff in the streets right now.
Oh yeah, dude. Like racism. They're like, come on, guys. Everybody needs to treat their friends. You know, everybody needs to be treated equally. You try to mess up some soccer, and they're like, we will France this country to the ground, okay? We will chop the queen's head off before we allow this to be busted up. Amazingly outraged. Like, everybody was outraged. And I think one of like a player said something like that. Like, yeah, if only everybody treated like real issues.
Yeah.
And I was not a fan of it either.
I've seen like signs from the protests. It's like, talking to the Manchester United owners, like, you've ruined this country.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah, dude, it's like legit. But I mean, the thing is like, the way they've been doing things they're trying to Americanize their league. You know, they just want to continuously bring money in. And I mean, you think about the NFL teams, like, I mean, the Browns were good this past year, but how long were the Browns completely awful? And it just did not matter to the ownership because, look, we're getting a profit share in this. But I mean, they were talking about, they were suing. There's lawsuits afoot. I mean, they are rising in the streets, bro. Like they do not like this at all. You know, keeping them out of the Champions League, and you know, like, look, let's go to their house and murder their moms. You know, like type of stuff. So apparently, you know, I did not see this. This happened just today, but two teams bowed out, right? Chelsea and Man City. And then Man City never agreed to be in. It was Man United.
Both of them. They both.
Man City opted out.
Here are the teams. I have it written up here: Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester City, and this is copied from ESPN.
ESPN doesn't know jack about
Manchester
soccer,
United
bro.
and Tottenham. Manchester City, but Manchester United has the owner resigned today, and one of the
how do you resign as the owner? It's like he's just like, I'm just not.
And then I
go
believe
into the box.
one of the owners from not in England, I believe Juventus. Resigned in shame as well over this. So it's
resigned in shame. Like,
yeah.
It's like, I was almost certain. I mean, I'm seeing this now, but I was almost certain that Man City had stated that they did not want to be a part of it, and it made people enjoy them. I don't know. I just went to the soccer thread on Reddit, and
I'm sure everything on there is super even keeled and nobody's freaking out.
Hey, at least I don't know who said it. No, I mean, no, they're freaking out. People are pissed for sure. And I mean, I'm not, you know, I kind of like.
Explain to me, as someone who's not into Premier League, what is the issue with it?
Well, in Premier League, I believe it's the bottom 3 spots. If you're in the bottom 3 spots after a season, you get relegated to the next level down, and then 3 new teams come up.
They should treat the Super League as you get whatever the opposite of relegate. You get pushed up after, like in the Premier League, you go up to the Super League. If you're then
that's relegation.
Right, okay.
That's you're just doing the opposite of relegation. I mean, because eventually you're just going to have a 1,000-team league. It's basically, that's what the owners want, is to avoid this relegation, because like I was saying with the Browns, you know, they were bad for how long, but it never mattered because they're getting money. And so that's essentially the same thing. Like, we don't have to go out and spend money to make sure we're not the lowest team in the league to get pushed out, and then money's lower. So it's basically that.
The NHL should do relegation. Honestly, the bottom 2-3 teams go to the AHL,
and then 3 of the top AHL teams come. Well, see, the problem is the AHL, they have affiliates, Bobby.
Yeah, I know.
There are teams.
Yeah, I'm talking about changing. I'm talking about changing the entire system.
How amazing would it be if the bottom 3 teams happened to be the top 3 teams at AHL teams? So they just became the teams. No, I mean, it was crazy. Like, it was pretty crazy. Like, people were not happy, and I mean, I thought it was kind of stupid too. But I mean, I haven't grown up in that though. Like, I think it would be like almost as equal to, like,
it's hard to pick an American sport because we don't
never
have worldwide sports. I mean, I guess it'd be like baseball if the Yankees, the Red Sox, and the Cubs went to go play with the best teams, and you know, I guess
the problem is American sports. We got the best of everything. Yeah. So, like, you know, but like it really would be like almost like, well, it would essentially be like what we may experience at some point in college football, of like a super conference where just like all the best teams just decide to go. And
which, frankly, I'm not against doing that,
because we're Americans though. Yeah. Like, you got to remember, like, the way the soccer is played over there is like bred into them, dude. Like, it is, you know, it's like a part of them. Whereas here, it's like, we just like sports.
Like, I would love to see a conference with like
football,
Alabama, Ohio State, Clemson, USC.
I wouldn't though. Because college football is like, and you're not a huge college football fan.
I just hate the concept of conferences. I don't like the whole conference situation.
Yeah, I mean, I like it though. I mean, it could definitely be corrected. There's always.
I mean, then you just got to
fixed,
take the team away from the actual school and just have it be a private thing. Don't use students. Get like the best people like after they come out of college. Yeah, well, that's just the pros.
That's just that's just professional. That's just professional leagues, Bobby. You're just
want
adding steps to going pro.
I just want another pro league.
So people were upset. Yeah, they are not happy.
All right, we've got a new little segment to bring in. I kind of thought of this on the whim this morning. The most interesting athlete of the week, and this week's athlete is Josh Naylor, the world's best fell runner. And for those of you that don't know, like I didn't when I first started this, that's running up hills.
That's just running.
Yeah. Well, it's a little. So I looked it up. It's mainly in northern England. It's this guy is known as the Bionic Shepherd. Pretty much, fell running. It's not just running up hills. You're running up like moss covered hills that are like like moss is kind of squishy. And you kind of
hills though.
Yeah, and it's like rocks and stuff. But
there's
anyway,
not like a specific word for running on a beach, Bobby. It's just running.
I think that's called rocking.
Beach. Is there a specific word?
I don't know. I'm just saying the Rocky movie. In the movie Rocky, they ran on the beach, so I figured call it Rocky.
Right, and he was just running.
Yeah. Running on the beach is hard though, man.
Exactly, but we don't call it something different.
I'm sure it has a name. Google that why.
Okay, I got you.
Anyway, so in 1975, he broke the record for how many fells, or moss-covered big hills, to run in 24 hours. The Bionic Shepherd did 72 peaks in 23 hours and 11 minutes during one of the worst heat waves in England's history. Then in 1983, he did all 214 peaks in the area, which was a total of 325 miles ran over mountain terrain. He did that in under 8 days. Then at 70 years old, and back in 2006, he did 70 fells covering 50 miles in under 21 hours. His diet consisted of sweet rubbish, macaroni pudding, trifle, weak tea, and a few cans of stout at night. I only know what one of those things are, not to be completely honest.
Bro, I am not having any luck, and I don't know if it's just because I don't know how to Google it, but like, what is running on the beach called? And it's just like glossary of nautical terms and like different things. Like, I think that England is the only place that they're like, look, we're going to get some moss-covered hills and we're going to create a different kind of running.
We've got all this wasted space because of all these moss-covered hills. We should do something with it.
It's like,
let's just send these dudes up it.
Should we have them run? No, but yes, we're going to make them run. But let's name it something weird.
Yeah. And the best part is the Bionic Shepherd did all of this with a bum leg from a botched surgery when he was 18.
Now, this is obviously a super interesting athlete. What is the competition like in the fell running world?
No,
it doesn't sound like it's great. I've never even heard that this was called fell running.
I'm about to Google. I bet it's one of those things where just because we're Americans, so we don't know. But I'm sure, like outside, they're like, "Oh my God, fair warning, boy! He's the most popular spell." I don't know. That was a weird Australian almost accent.
It was like a Scottish Australian. It was a Australian.
Yeah,
yeah. So I mean,
fell running, or known as hill running.
Yeah, just running. That's what I'm trying to say, dude.
Is fell running good for you? I mean.
No,
yeah, I mean, it's running.
It's bad. It's bad for you. It's actually the opposite of running. You get negative exercise doing it. So that's crazy. Like, first of all, there can't be a great fell running regulatory body if he did 72 peaks in 23 hours and 11 minutes during a heat wave. Like, is that like an English heat wave? Because it doesn't get like super hot over there, right?
I think it was like
73,
I think like 90s or something like that.
It's like 73.
So they're all the World Mountain Running Championships, which in Scotland and Northern England they call the Fell Running Championships. So it's obviously got like a there's a fellrunner.org.uk.
Well, I mean, everything has a website.
Well,
Bobby.
yeah, but this is but it's like they are like official British championships in 2021. They've had 4.
They had 4 championships in 1 year.
In 2021, and then
and already. Yes. So we have 4 champions in fell running.
But different categories.
Like, what are the different categories?
The categories are just category M, category L, second category L, category S.
Do you think that's like based on like the shape of the hill? You think that's like, it's like men.
Maybe. I don't know what S is.
Snakes.
Just snakes.
Yeah, wow. I mean, that's cool. But I mean, I am going to be honest.
Apparently, it's also popular in Alabama, which is very weird. Are there a lot of mountains in Alabama?
Is it though weird? Because it's weird, it is not weird that it's happening in Alabama. You know what I'm saying? Like, technically, yes, weird, but like happening in Alabama makes it
I'm not
less
surprised
weird.
that that's the state that picked it up.
Right. I mean, they do tandems where it's a brother and a sister, and the winners get to make out at the end. I mean, so not obviously super interesting. Joss Naylor, awesome. That's really great. Like, obviously, I could not do this, but your sport sucks, bro. Like,
and here's the thing: this is just the first one. I didn't want to like get out to like something super like ridiculously interesting and be like, oh well, nothing's matched up to week one.
I think I'm gonna
build up a little bit.
I think I'll do next week. I'm gonna do Peter LaFleur.
Okay. You'll have to teach our listeners, not me. I totally know who Peter LaFleur is. Totally.
Do you?
Totally.
Seriously?
No, I don't.
That's dodgeball, bro.
Oh, okay.
Peter LaFleur. That's Vince Vaughn's character
Dude,
in dodgeball.
I haven't seen that movie in like 20 years.
Dude, nobody makes me bleed my own blood. Nobody.
The only thing I remember that is Patches from that movie, bruh.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball or run a hill.
All right, moving into our main topic of the day. We're doing tank, rebuild, future, or push.
Did you find out how many more we have? We don't have many games left, so we need to get all of them in.
I've got two. We've got 2 segments left after this. We got 18.
Do we have 2 weeks of games left?
Mm.
Well, we need to know. We can't be telling, oh, well, the team that's in the playoffs, we can't be like push. Like,
we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out after the show.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to start off with the Ducks. I've got rebuild. It's pretty clear. Big question is, where are the big moves? That they're not making any big moves for a team that's definitely in the middle of a rebuild outside of like their young players. And I mean, they've got Zegras, who looks like a future superstar. Question is, does Zegras want to stay in Anaheim? I mean, from what he's shown, I don't think he'll want to stay there.
Yeah, I mean,
I think he'll want to.
Anaheim's a nice place to live. Like, so it could be worse type of deal. Like, you're there, you know. My big question on that is, I have a rebuild as well. Do you rebuild around John Gibson, or do you try to find some pieces for him? Because I mean,
how old is he now? He's got to be like what, 32?
No, I think he's like 26, bro.
Really?
Like, John Gibson's young as heck, dude.
I just feel like he's been around forever.
Yeah, but I mean, usually goalies don't play that much, or you know, like don't play as early as he started playing. 27. Yeah.
Wow.
July 14th. So he'll be 28, but that's like pretty young in terms of a goalie. Like, I mean, not super young or anything, but like that's the real question. I mean, he's a little older than rebuild age, but if you rebuild pretty well and you have traded him away and you have a bad goalie, like what is it all worth, you know? So
yeah, I mean, he's a good goalie. He could definitely be a center point for their rebuild.
Agreed. And so that's a question, but I mean, it's also a guy that's probably going to bring in some major assets. I don't know what his contract is looking like. Yeah. Okay. So it's weird because there's one thing that pulled up. It said 37 years but like his birthday's in 93. So like either I am almost 40 and I had no idea, or this was weird.
Like, bro, we have to reevaluate what we're doing.
I don't know how to do math. Like, maybe I should be running hills. Yeah. So, I mean, that's a good question. I mean, it's something that would probably bring in some pieces, but again, it goes back to what is a rebuild worth if you don't have a goalie to keep you there, you know? So, okay, so he's actually a UFA. He's not even a UFA until 27, 28.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, he's there for a while. I guess it's just the question of, I mean, you could get some major assets for him for a rebuild. But again, it goes back to the goalie thing. So, a good question. I mean, that's a pretty big contract. I feel like somebody be willing to take it on, though.
We're moving on to the Avs now. The Avs. We're both agreeing on this push, and not just push. Well, push it real good.
You have push hard. I have pushed super hard. Okay, so I feel like mine's a little bit better than yours.
I'll change mine to double stuffed push.
It's too late. The doc started and the shows began. So I mean, I've won this. No, but seriously, I mean, this has been the same for the past few years. They need to push. Yeah. Eventually, it's going to be like, wow, you guys have been wasting a lot of money.
Yeah. they'll turn into the Preds if they don't push hard. I mean, they are pushing. Let's not.
They didn't even make it to a cup, bro. So like, they ain't going to turn into the Preds. Like, Preds got a President's Trophy. We got a Stanley Cup final. We had some pretty impressive feats.
We got best mascot.
We got some pretty impressive feats through that time frame. Whereas the Avs have not done much, even in the playoffs and such. So I'm intrigued to see what they do in this year's playoffs. So But yeah, I mean, that one's a pretty obvious one.
Yeah.
Pashard.
Devils, I think both of ours are kind of the same when you think about it, but I've got the rebuild they're currently in. So, I mean, they're hopefully about halfway through their rebuild.
Well, you can call it the same, but you did separate them as options. So I picked future.
Yeah.
I mean, they have some good youth there. They did trade Sajak and Palmieri. But I mean, Hughes and Heischer, I mean, they've got some good options there. I mean, if Mackenzie Blackwood could step up a little bit potentially, so I'm thinking more future than rebuild. I don't know that they have the current team to build on, if that makes sense. But I mean, it's not that they couldn't. It's just I don't know that they're quite ready.
I've been seeing some flashes from Subban. He's looking kind of like the old Subban. He's been kind of.
Well, I mean, he's a Norris Trophy winning, defenseman. I mean, you're gonna see flashes of greatness.
Yeah. Did you see the big old gash he had on his leg? He got cut by a skate. It was probably.
Was it on his OnlyFans?
Yeah. I mean, everyone knows if you want to see the gash, you got to go to OnlyFans.
Yeah. So like, where was it on
his inner thigh?
Ooh,
it was probably
that's dangerous.
It was probably about 6 inches long, and they had to. He went in. Got stitches and he was back on for the next shift.
That's dangerous, dude. Like you catch the wrong part of the inner thigh, like you
it was pretty bad. You could see the muscle. Like it didn't go. You can see the bone.
Did it look strong?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got rebuild. You got I got future. You have a current rebuild. So,
but all right. We're moving on to the Blue Jackets. I've got small rebuild. You've got, I guess.
Rebuild so hard, dude.
Yeah.
You got to rebuild so hard, bro.
Yeah, they and I guess my small rebuild is coming off, and it's kind of dumb. The interview with Kekkenline and the owner or the GM, who the hell he is. They've got some decent pieces there, but they've got some major issues starting with Torts. Torts has got to be gone. His contract's up this year. He's not a good NHL coach. Yeah, he needs to hit the road with Babcock and never coach hockey again, man. They are poison for players. So and then it's unlikely that they are able to keep Merzlikins and Korpisalo, who are both UFAs. So that's going to be a decision that they got to make. Who is their future goalie?
Who are you keeping?
Merzlikins, I think.
Yeah, me too. I mean, Korpisalo has been pretty good, pretty decent.
Yeah,
early on, but not as great lately. I'm probably keeping Merzlikins as well. I mean, name value alone is off the charts. Elvis Merzlikins. We've always talked about this. I'm hyped about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they do have some decent pieces there. I mean, Patrick Laine. Oh gosh, hopefully they trade him or they get a new coach. I mean, this is getting
Nashville, baby.
I guess. I don't know though, man. Like he seems to not fit in locker room wise anywhere he goes. I mean, he is one of the best goal scorers in the league that I don't even know that I'd care to have him on my team, man.
Where do you think he would thrive?
Somewhere with massive leadership, with the older guys that wouldn't take any of it.
How do you think he'd fit in with the Leafs?
Probably not as well as I think he'd fit in with the Penguins.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like a guy like Crosby. I mean, no, I mean,
Washington, maybe.
Washington, maybe, guys that have a guy like, Crosby and Malkin or as you said, Ovechkin in Washington there. I think he needs somebody that's better at hockey than him to just be like, shut up. You know what I'm saying?
Or I know that, but also what if, because or he goes somewhere where maybe he is the top. Maybe he goes to like LA. I could see him kind of doing well in the LA system. They have a play style that, kind of seems like, or even Carolina, I feel like could be good for him.
Yeah, but see, the problem is I think that, and this is without any real knowledge, I think his problem is that he's stuck in this phase where he has been not only the best hockey player in every level of hockey he's ever played, but he's been by and far the best hockey player on the ice every time, and he never has had to work hard for it. And I think that's the biggest issue, is that I don't know that he's willing to put in the work that it takes. And I'm not saying that he's not. I'm just saying that we watched one of the most amazing rookie seasons we ever saw out of a guy, goal scoring wise. And it has just been one thing after the other. And we just said, okay, well, maybe it was Winnipeg. And maybe
is Laine a winger or
yeah, I think he's a right wing, I want to say. Maybe.
I would like to see him do the opposite wing with Panarin. I think that'd be a nice line.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, at
least then, because Panarin's, I think, is a better overall hockey player.
See, I guess that's where I have problems. Is he's always done better on lower line, like second line with Connor and Stasny. He had a pretty decent season, but when he gets moved up there with Scheifele and Wheeler, he doesn't thrive as much because I think he needs to at least tell himself, I'm the best player on the ice. And I mean, we've seen this guy give up multiple times on defensive plays. And I think that a place like Pittsburgh or a place like Washington with real leadership, or maybe even Boston, they're just not going to take that. They're like, look, bro, we'll sit you down. And I think Torts has done that, but Torts has run out his own leash. So it looks like it's Torts is the bad guy and not him the bad guy. This is 2 teams in a row that we say, okay, well, maybe it was the team. And it's clearly not been the team. I mean, there's no one sitting here denying Patrick Laine's talent, but I am denying his ability to go and win a Stanley Cup. I mean, he has never shown anything to me to make him a Stanley Cup winner.
For sure. All right. So that's about it for Thank Rebuild Future a Push. We'll be back probably next week with some more. Let's move into our games of the week.
Games of the week. Bobby and Brandon do the work, so you don't have to. The best from around the NHL and what to watch.
I had a rough week.
You did. I was even, if you didn't bring it up, I was probably even going to let you skip the record update. But since you've brought it up, Bob is 33-1. He with one game remaining. So, I mean, you could push that up a little bit. It's not like I'm blasting you out of the water here or anything. But I mean, I think you were 1-3 this week. It was a rough go of it for you. I'm not here to brag. I had a pretty decent week. I went 3-1-1. I seem to find those postponed games, buddy. So I'm now 33-28-4. You need the win tonight.
Yeah. And I need a good week this week.
You need a really good week and that's what I said. I want to beat you in wins no matter what, because we decided early on, without kind of really knowing how many, postponed games we would get, we were just going to do win percentage. So, I mean, you got to have a few more wins than me to even qualify, because I got 4 postponements right now.
Luckily, at the end of the day, I can also say I'm giving the people more entertainment, because at least they're actually able to watch my games.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. But I mean, you're probably guiding their gambling hand, and they're like, wow.
Well, by now they should know. Don't follow me for the.
Tell me, bro. I mean, at least 33 of 20. At least four of. If you told me 4 times, you're getting your money back. Guaranteed, dude. Guaranteed.
I'll start us off on Thursday night, night of the release. I've got the Blue Jackets and the Lightning. I mean, listen, I got to get my wins up, so I'm taking the Lightning, baby.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with you going for, it's funny because, never mind. So for my game 1, I had no idea. I did pick a different day, though. My game 1, I have Canes and Panthers, dude. We got us a little battle there in the Central. I'm, and I that's what I kind of decided. I was like, I'm going to go for 2 teams that are battling for spots there, because I need to give good games, but obviously I need to give you that opportunity to get back in this. So I have the Canes playing the Panthers. That's Thursday, the 22nd at 6 p.m. Taking the Canes, baby. This was a tough choice, dude, because it's at Florida. So like that's a tough call, but I am going to take the Canes. They are hot right now, leader in the Central. So we'll see.
What do you got on Friday?
I have the Habs and Flames. Again, I kind of went with those 2 teams vying for a similar spot there. Habs are still holding on to the 4th spot by 6 points, but Calgary has 2 more games played. Calgary's going to push it up. I think I'm going to go with the Flames here as the winner. This is Friday the 23rd at 8 p.m. I mean, they're battling right now.
All right, on Friday, I've got the Wild versus the Kings at 9 p.m. I'm taking the Wild in this, and I'm actually going to talk a little bit about the Kings on the fantasy show on Monday. But the Kings, they're not out of the playoffs yet. They're only about 6, or maybe 6. I think they're about 8 points out of the playoff spot, and they've got a couple games in hand. They can jump some teams. They've got
7 points out,
and I think next week, the week that the fantasy show comes out, they've got 4 games against the Ducks. So if they can have a good showing against the Ducks, they can propel. So they're not out of this. They're not not in tank mode yet.
The funny thing is, there's not really any team 4 through 8 in the Honda West division that's out of it. I mean, the Ducks are not out of it right now. I mean, they have have more games played. They're probably out of it, but they're not like out of it. Kings are in 7th place right now, but 38 points, only 42 games played. So I mean, you're right, bro. They're not out of it, and that was actually my secondary game that I was going to choose if you chose the game I picked for that day. So great call.
On Saturday afternoon on NBC, I got the Avalanche versus the Blues, and honestly, you'll never catch me going with the Blues. I've got the Avs, and this isn't because I'm a Preds fan. I hate the Blues. It's because I think the Blues suck.
Yeah, you've been down on them. Hey, your Blues out of the playoffs right now, bro. Yotes are going in right now, man. So
so I think the Avs are going to win that pretty handedly. And I need them to as well. Yeah. But I'll probably put a little bit of money on that one. Put the money where my mouth is.
Yeah.
What do you got on Saturday?
Saturday, I have, and I'm super glad you didn't take this because this was the one of my 5 that I'm the most excited about. Isles, bro.
I saw that game and I'm really excited, but what I try to do, like, since I think whoever picks first shouldn't just go through. Like, I have the thought process that if I'm picking first, I don't take every of the best marquee games.
Me too.
Because that's
I
dumb.
do that too.
Because it's not a competition for that. Like, we're trying to get some good games for each.
If I show up on the dock first, I don't know if you know. I've tried to do similar things to that. I don't try to take the best game of every day. So. But I was glad that this was one that you didn't choose to take. The Caps playing the Isles. This was so tough. I mean, 1-2 in the Mass Mutual East. I actually went and threw a little Skrilla on the Caps outright winning the division. So I have the Caps winning it here.
I have a good bet from the preseason from the Caps winning the division too.
Oh wow! Well, yours is probably much better odds than mine.
I think I'll have to go through. I'm in the middle of a raid battle right now, but I think it was like plus 2,200.
Yeah, that's a lot better than what I got. I mean, I think I still got like plus 300 or something. And obviously I've got 10 games left. So I have, there's the difference, but the good call.
I got them in Vegas to win their division.
Yeah. I should have taken some Vegas action myself.
I bet 40 on the Caps to win. So I'll win some money.
Avs, two less games played right now and only 2 points behind. So you're going to, obviously for your games of the week, you want the Avs to win. But you're going to need them to lose. You want to win that money.
The Golden Knights one, I didn't put too much money on. I'm not too worried if I lose that. The Caps one, though, I definitely want them.
Yeah.
I think the Habs winning the division is out of the question for me.
Yeah,
I think I got that at like plus 3,500.
That one's probably out. But yeah, so I have that Caps. That's Saturday the 24th at 6 p.m. So, I would not be surprised to see the Isles take that one home, though.
And on Sunday afternoon, also on NBC, we got the Bruins and the Penguins. Listen,
Bruins.
I lost this matchup this past week, but it's a great matchup. But I'm riding the Bruins again. They're not going to fail me twice. So, I think the Bruins take it to them. I think the Bruins are such a strong team, and honestly, they are. I think a lot of people are not talking about them as Stanley Cup contenders.
I remember last week on the fantasy show, I said, put my money where my mouth is. I think this team is a cup contender. I threw some money on them. I mean, that's the thing. Like, this is a perennial perennial team that wins.
Not just that state knows how to win championships.
That and like this team, they have players that know how to win. They don't care what positioning they are going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's one of the few
playoffs,
teams like,
man.
Right. That's the type of team that, positioning matters for a lot of teams and like, oh, you don't want to play this team. Dude, Bruins don't care who they're playing this year. And I mean, the addition to Taylor Hall, we were wondering what it was going to do for the team. It has been clear that he has had a great, is feeling good about going to playing for an actual winning team. now. So yeah, Bruins. That's a really good call. My fourth game. I feel like you guys have heard this before, but I have the Blue Jackets playing the Lightning on Sunday the 25th at 6 p.m. I'm sorry, Bob. There was not many Sunday games. I will be taking the Lightning. I hope for your sake that the Blue Jackets come out.
I wanted to take that one, but I didn't want to take the same matchup twice.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, I feel like that's against the. You can take the same team twice, but taking the same matchup is a rough call. So Sunday 25th at 6 p.m. Check it out. You can check it out right after the Bruins beat the Penguins, right?
Yep, sure. And my last game, I've got the Hurricanes and the Stars. Listen. Hurricanes are holding on, are holding on to that playoff spot.
I would say holding on. You mean holding on to the top playoff spot?
Yeah.
Because they're not just holding on to their spot.
Yeah, Hurricanes are holding on to the number one seed right now.
It seems like they're like grasping for sure.
Yeah, when I say holding on, they're like
the Blues.
Clenched.
They're the Blues right now.
But the Stars are still in this, man, and we'll probably talk about that with David tonight. But they need to step it up a bit. But yeah, I've got the Hurricanes winning this on Monday night. What do you got for your last game?
Last game, probably the best matchup, maybe besides my Canes Panthers, but the best matchup I have on the old list, Avs Golden Knights. I mean, we're talking about, like I said, two teams that are right there amongst each other. I have the Avs winning it. I think by this time next week, when we're talking, the Avalanche will be leading the division.
Yeah.
So
I agree with that.
So we'll get into that. We have roughly 10 games left for each team. So we're coming up on the end of it right now.
All right, it's time to move into our joke of the week.
The weird. Corey Perry. See, I don't like this. Wild. I think the first read was a good one. Now I'm overthinking it. Outlandish.
Each sixth chick sat on a stick. Little tongue twister.
And downright dumb.
You're kidding me.
It's time for the joke of the week.
Honestly, as funny as the headline is, the first sentence, the first
paragraph. I know. I just read it.
All right. Headline: Man claims he took upskirt videos to test quality of phone camera. Out of Singapore, an engineer who took upskirt videos claimed he wanted to test his phone camera after finding that such videos like this online were of varying qualities.
What a wild statement to make to a newspaper. It's like, God, like you guys are coming at me.
Like, have you seen the quality of upskirt videos online?
So I was like online and I was looking up upskirt videos and they were garbage. They were trash, and I feel bad for perverts. What?
Let's say he took videos of 10 women from July 24th to September 10th in varying locations, including Badok, Serangoon, Sintex City, I believe all of which are...
I mean, it does, obviously, real creepy, but like the information we get about the data that he's collected, I mean, it makes it seem like he is really trying to like fix the upskirt camera problem. I mean, this is a man that doesn't want the world to burn.
So what you're saying is he's a go-getter. And go get her.
I think that's, yes, he is a go get her.
He was jailed for 11 weeks. He pleaded guilty to 3 counts of insulting the modesty of women with another 7.
Is that the charge?
Yeah.
That was the charge?
Yeah.
I guess they don't have like juries and stuff. It's like probably just some judge.
They probably have juries there.
You think they have juries in Singapore?
Yeah.
You go ahead and continue with the story. I'm going to look up the Singapore legal system.
And another 7 similar charges taken into consideration during sentencing. On many occasions, I was going to not keep his name out of it, but Tan followed his victims on escalators, standing behind them.
Do you think that we're going to get sued by the guy that he's convicted? He's no longer alleged, bro. Yeah. You're allowed to say his name.
He would follow his victim on escalators, standing behind them and using his Sony Xperia mobile phone to record the videos. Sony's loving this publicity.
It's actually, you were correct. I think correct. They are former British colony, so they operate
off wigs. They got them white wigs.
I don't really know. I don't know like a super ton about the English legal system either. But yeah, no. So I mean, I would imagine they have some sort of a westernized.
Oh yeah, they wear their wigs.
Nice. You wear a see Canada does the worst of both. Like you wear the robes, but no wigs. Yeah. Like That's the stupidest part. You should wear the wigs, but no robes.
I want to see the wigs in just regular suits.
That'd be sick. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, dude. Just like you're wearing, like this dude rolls in an Armani, dude, and he's got his King George wig on, dude.
I want to see that version of My Cousin Vinny with him with the wig on.
Yeah, I mean they got a pretty robust criminal system there.
Yeah, dude, it's like a real place.
I didn't think it was a not having the same.
You thought it was the Randy Travis of places?
Not having an exact same replica of the American justice system does not make me think you're not a real place. There are places that don't have juries and stuff, like just 12 dudes rolling up in there, like saying like, "What up, dude? You're good." Like. So yeah, I mean, 11. What is this? What'd you say? It was 11 weeks. That's not too much for like what
sexual
arguably
assault.
Like assault. Yeah, sexually assaulting women. Like, I mean, dude got off pretty good.
Weird they wouldn't just round it up to 12 weeks, like 3 months. Like
that's what the jury said, Bobby. 11. So on Friday, Deputy Public Prosecutor Go King Ki Shun urged the court to jail him for 11. That was like the recommendation from the prosecutor. Like, but Tan's lawyer, Mr. Marshall Lim, he asked the courts for a 10-week sentence instead.
Let's split the difference.
He's like, come on, guy. It's not a day over 70 days.
Both lawyers were he was like, we need to get the video uploaded. And he can't do that till he's out of jail.
It's like, come on. Look at the quality of this bad boy.
That's in 4K.
He has revolutionized upskirt videos, bro. You gotta let him out. Also, dude's name is Marshall.
Yeah.
Also weird. I mean, but I guess to be fair, the district judge's name was Adam. So,
well, it's because that way he can name his practice martial law.
Dude, if his name is martial law, but I mean, nah, this guy could never have thought of something so dope. He literally argued against the prosecutor for 11 weeks for 10 weeks. Like, He's like, come on, guy, come on.
Imagine being the dude and being like, he's going to fight for me. He's like, 10? What? He can't even counter.
Yeah, that's like, look, man, bro, like, I'll just take the 11. It makes me not look like a bitch, like a dude, like, we're talking 7 days. Like, if I'm murdered in 60. Okay. He's out on bail for $5,000 though. Surrendering himself the 26th though.
Okay.
11 weeks start now.
All right. Let's move into questions from the internet. You got this one for us.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Can I go back to the joke of the week?
100%.
For each count of the insulting the modesty of a woman, which there was like 10, right? Something like that. 7, enough. Could have been jailed for up to a year.
Wow.
Up to a year. So we're talking a potential 7 years, fined, or both. And he's like, 11. Like the videos were really good quality.
Yeah.
So 11.
Well, what you don't know is that they're getting bad quality videos with like 5 years in prison.
That's right. Yeah. Like you come into here.
They don't deal with that 1080p bullshit.
The judge is like, Adam, the judge in Singapore, he's like, I'm going to need to see the evidence again.
This evidence is very clear.
This evidence is not as damning as the blurry video that we saw from Joe last week. Marshall, you got a hell of a client, buddy.
Not doing that 10 weeks, though.
10 weeks, though? That's ridiculous. 11.
That makes a mockery of this courtroom.
You're making a mockery here, Marshall. You'll respect Judge Adam.
All right, man. Hit us with that question from the internet.
Yeah. So this was a pretty good one. I feel like we're probably running a little bit over, but we could probably talk about this one for a long time. What actor plays the same character in every movie? Not saying they all played the same named character, but yeah, you're like, oh, that's the same character.
I mean, I think mine before was Jason Statham.
Yeah, that was a really good one that I didn't even think of.
Hugh Grant's a good one too. I kind of like always like, although he was in this show recently where he played like a murderer, so that was a little different than his rom-com.
Yeah,
thing.
So right off the bat, he's out.
But that was like because he's old now and he can't.
Yeah,
really
but like, no, it's like there are some people that get old.
What about
Bobby?
Steve Buscemi? That could count.
No, I feel like bro's got range, dude. Bro has some. Buscemi has some range, dude. Have you not seen him in The Sopranos?
Yeah, but he kind of plays the same character in Boardwalk Empire. He plays
right, but then you go over to like The Big Lebowski, and he's a different character.
Yeah,
Buscemi's got some range, dude.
Christopher Walken. I'm trying to even think of like what movies Christopher Walken has been in that I've seen him in, other than like Click.
I would say Walken does, a pretty wide range himself.
The Rock.
The Rock plays this.
Yeah.
The Rock plays The Rock in every movie. Yeah. Most action stars. We could go to like, like Sylvester Stallone. I would say yes.
Recently,
to a point.
He's got a little bit more, but I think for the most part, though, he kind of plays the same.
I feel like we've typecast him, and I feel like he does have a little bit of range. I remember me talking about that movie where he plays that like alcoholic that like gets kicked out of his house or whatever, and he's having to like live on the front yard.
Yeah,
and it's like so. That was like a little outside. He didn't really play like a Will Ferrell, but I would say yes to that. He definitely does. Like Sylvester Stallone.
Before Uncut Gems, I would have said Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler pretty much, even in the movies that he's trying to act, he still plays Adam Sandler, I would say. Michael Cera.
Yeah,
he's just like an awkward guy all the time. And I'll tell you, this is the only 100% right answer. Michael Jordan. Dude has been in one movie, and he played Michael Jordan. So by the terms of the question, that's 100% right.
Melissa McCarthy kind of plays the same character too.
Yeah, yes, I would say yes on that for sure. There's definitely, action movies or action movie star.
I know this one's going to be
Liam Neeson.
Yeah,
plays pretty much
Tom Cruise too.
Yeah,
at the end of the day, Tom Cruise, while he's a good actor,
Tom Cruise is a little rangy though. You got a movie like Jerry Maguire, and then you got a movie like Top Gun. So he doesn't necessarily play the same role and character, but Tom Cruise is the same person. I think he just plays Tom Cruise that plays different roles.
On the same level as The Rock, Kevin Hart. I feel like
Kevin Hart, he's not a huge actor. So, I would say yes to that for sure. I said Michael Cera, right? That was a pretty obvious one. Danny Trejo, bro. Yeah, Danny Trejo literally plays Danny Trejo in every movie that he's ever been in. So, that's a pretty obvious one. Even taking it opposite here, who's someone that has some range, dude, that has some massive range that you're like, wow.
That's a thing.
I'll tell you one that right off the bat, Jason Bateman, dude.
Yeah.
That guy is a phenomenal actor to me. I'm blown away by. I'll tell you one that I just thought of. Pedro Pascal. He plays very similar, like not so badass.
You've got your obvious ones like like Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington. Like,
no way.
You don't think Tom Hanks
play? No, those dudes play different characters.
We're talking about range. You're talking about guys that range.
I'm so sorry. I thought you were going back because I had reverted back to.
Okay, sorry. I was like,
dude, Tom Hanks for real?
No, okay, that's why I was like, whoa.
This guy played a woman's baseball coach, and then a guy, and then. Like in Forrest Gump, where, he's just a guy that, he's been a part of every aspect of history. I love playing Forrest Gump for Halloween, dude. It's the funniest thing. When Game of Thrones was real big and there was like a bunch of people that were dressing as Game of Thrones for Halloween, and I was dressed as Forrest Gump, I would get every Jon Snow King of the North that I saw, and I would make him take a picture where he's standing in front of me, but I was standing behind him as if I was his King's Guard. Like, oh, Forrest Gump's just here. Like, what is he doing here? So Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington.
Johnny Depp?
Great. Johnny Depp, I would say he's similar to Tom Cruise to me, where he plays Johnny Depp as different characters.
I think because Johnny Depp, the person, has range.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's just like, we don't even know what's going on in Johnny Depp's head.
Not a place I'd want to be at.
Okay, I got you one that pretty much roughly plays the same guy. Michael Caine. He pretty much plays that same old guy in every movie. I don't
just
really
Alfred.
know. Yeah, I don't really know like his younger work. So maybe he had some range.
I think he was
like
more
back
of
in
a
the day.
stage actor. I think that's why I like.
So maybe he has a little range, but I've never seen it. So, Benedict Cumberbatch has some range too, bro. Like that's a guy that I'll watch.
He always plays British.
Fair. That's a fair point. So do we
Although
have...
I'm pretty sure in Doctor Strange, he's in one of his most famous roles now. He's not British.
Yeah, but he's like a surgery guy. Like,
yeah, he looks British. He looks like Benedict Cumberbatch.
There's a guy that plays literally the same character, and I know you'll know what I'm talking about. But the guy that plays Hector in every movie, Noel.
Oh yeah,
Guglielmi.
Yeah.
I was looking at his IMDb.
It's like
and
Hector.
They're literally all Hector, dude.
Yeah, I've seen that on
on
Reddit before.
Yeah, so that guy literally plays the same character in every movie. So
all right, let's move on to this or that.
Time to cast your vote. Vote your cast. Choose your pick. Pick your choice. Make a decision and take a side for this or that.
All right. Pretty quick. We're going to hit this one quick. Everything tastes like pumpkin or everything tastes like cilantro.
Hate this so much. I'm going to pick option 3 of poop. That's gross, dude. Pumpkin and cilantro. I guess if gun to my head, I'd have to pick cilantro, dude, because everything pumpkin. Imagine pumpkin pizza, dude. That's garbage, dude. Pumpkin wings, trash. Cilantro wings.
The gears are working in my head right now, and I'm like, I want to try it.
I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't say no, but I'm everything that you eat has to be pumpkin. I feel like it's just too overbearing.
Yeah. No, I think both of these suck, but I think cilantro. I don't know, man. I think I could deal with a pumpkin beer. I don't think I could deal with a cilantro beer, to be honest.
Fair. But again, I feel like the cilantro beer would not be great, but it would be better than pumpkin everything else. We drink some crappy beers before and we just drink them. You know what I mean? Because they're beer. So I hear what you're saying.
What you're going to be missing out on, what's going to really suck, is cilantro steak and pumpkin steak.
I would say cilantro steak is probably much better than a
pumpkin. But the problem is you're getting it, but it's not
even like pumpkin
it's not
pie,
steak
though.
With cilantro. It's you're chewing. You're literally just tasting straight cilantro. So it's all cilantro,
right? But so I don't really even like pumpkin pie that much. So I guess if
I'm a big pumpkin pie guy.
If I had a pumpkin steak, there's only one way to do pumpkin pie, and it's 96% whipped cream, and then you just have a little bit of pumpkin pie under there so nobody judges you. So I guess if I was eating a pumpkin steak, I would put whipped cream on the top.
I think at the end of the day, because pumpkin can get super overpowering.
That's what I'm saying.
Also, here's the thing though. If it's real pumpkin, then I'm on board. But if it's the bullshit Starbucks pumpkin where it's tastes like chemical.
I've never had that. So
it tastes like straight chemical. I can't do it. So
everything's a chemical, Bobby.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go pumpkin on this one.
Cilantro, no problem. Right. If poop is out of the question.
Yeah.
Okay, cilantro.
My other idea was full body tattoos or Chili's, just for you.
Go to Chili's?
Go to Chili's for every meal or get full body tattooed.
I'm not a huge tat guy, but
you're getting tatted up.
But what up? Let me find me a tattoo artist, dude. I've said numerous occasions, we'll sell out for anything. Bro, if Chili's comes to us with an opportunity for, I want to buy a spot, bro, Chili's, you can suck eggs, dude. Get out of here.
Oh, those Southwest egg rolls look good.
I was like, get the hell out of here, buddy. Oh. I hate Chili's, dude. We're feuding.
Bobby and Brandon are about to find out exactly what snaps their sticks.
All right. This week, I've got the expecting pro or college athletes to only care about their sport. Specifically talking about the Trevor Lawrence bullshit, quote unquote, outrage. People got mad because
you had. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but you had said we got to talk about the Trevor Lawrence situation. I was like, the situation? What? I was like, what happened?
Did he Trevor Lawrence?
Right, exactly.
In Sports Illustrated, he told them, and I quote, "It's not like I need football for my life to be okay. I want to do it because I want to be the best I can be. I want to maximize my potential. Who wouldn't want to? You kind of waste it if you don't." People immediately got really mad at him and started calling him like he doesn't have enough heart, he doesn't try enough, and he shouldn't play the game if he doesn't really want to, because he said the words, "It's not like I need football for my life to be okay."
You know what's the most surprising part of all of this to me? That people still read Sports Illustrated. Yeah, I mean, look, man, this is to be expected.
Well, it was published online.
The guy that, it has been sitting at home for the past year, and not because he believes in the coronavirus or anything, like he just lives there and doesn't have a job and stuff. I am so surprised that he is upset about this world-class college athlete not saying exactly what he wants to hear. So I'm very surprised by that, Bobby, that people are outraged by this. I'm blown away. But oh my God, I so agree. Like, and also, you know what, something else that wears me out is like people talking about sports, like, and athletes, and I mean, actors and actresses and music stars, like putting on them that they're supposed to be role models. Like, I never really understood that.
Sense.
Like, they're just folks that could
have a talent.
Do things well, right? They're talented. Like, I've never understood that myself.
Like we should be the role models. You and
we are role models. Like, dude, we could show you how to, drink the hell out of some beer, dude. Like a real skill in life that you're going to need. So I agree. I mean, I want to be your child's role model. Okay. Yeah. Not sexual. Okay. I want to make that very clear.
Nobody was thinking it was sexual until you just said that.
See, but the people on the internet, they may. So nothing sexual. This is like an Always Sunny type
Someone's
of deal.
Someone's going to edit and be like, and just where you say all sexual.
All sexual. So I got a couple. One is just like a real basic. The Ryan Johansson bobblehead that sits next to me, we had it moved over to the dresser that was over beside us, and now I cannot find his stick, and so now he's just a guy with no stick. So like that's kind of frustrating for me. It's really snapping my stick because I
got an extra arrow. He can just build an arrow.
Ryan Johansson does not hold arrows, bro. But I'm just like more mad about the fact that it hasn't moved from like this like little area that we're in, and it's just gone, dude. Yeah. I don't know. But also like my non-sport, I guess that's my sports, but my non-sports is the Cleveland Show doesn't have more seasons, dude.
Love that show.
I think that it's better than
my name is Cleveland Brown,
and I am proud to be. I just feel like I really enjoy that show a whole lot. And I because we've been watching it to go to sleep to and stuff. And so like now, it's not as many seasons as like, it's not like the 300 season that Family Guy is. I find it funnier than Family Guy. I find it to be.
It's a different type of comedy than Family Guy.
Definitely. It definitely hits better to me. Like the subtlety of the joke, like Family Guy's just more in your face. Yeah. Like, and Cleveland Show is like, sometimes you got to think about the jokes, and I really like that.
We've been falling asleep to Bob's Burgers. I mean,
Bob's Burgers is obviously Bob's is much better to me than the Cleveland Show, but I feel like it's because the Cleveland Show never got a real shot at being there.
All right, guys, we'll see you guys next week.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Pucks Out Podcast. To see what other ridiculousness the guys are up to, check them out on Twitter and Instagram @PucksOutPod.